Warren Buffett said the stock market is a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient.
99% of Warren Buffett's net worth was accumulated after his 60th birthday. After he turned 60 years old, 99% of his wealth has been accumulated after that period. Because the longer you hold that for, the crazier the numbers get. When he was 60, I think he was worth about $3 billion. A lot of money. He's a multi-billionaire. But now that he's 90, he's worth over $100 billion. And he's given like $100 billion away to charity. So if he didn't do that, he'd go from $3 billion to $200 billion since he's been 60. Because the numbers just get crazier at that point. He's worth $100 billion. So if his net worth goes up 10% in 1 year, he makes $10 billion, which is 3 times that he was worth when he was 60. So that's when you look at somebody like Buffett. Is he a great investor? Is he a great stock picker? Of course. But the real secret to his success is that he's been a good investor for 80 years.
Temperament that when others are fearful, you're going to get scared yourself. You know, you are not going to make a lot of money in securities over time in all probability. And that, people really, if they didn't look at quotations, but of course the whole world is urging them to look at quotations, and more than that, do something based on small changes in quotations. But if you didn't, think how much more rational, we've talked about it before, but think how much more rational investing in a farm is than the way many people buy stocks. I mean, if you buy a farm, do you get a quote next week? Do you get a quote next month? If you buy an apartment house, do you get a quote next week or month? No, you look at the apartment house or the farm and you say, I expected it to produce so many bushels of soybeans and corn, and if it does that, it meets my expectations. But they buy a stock and they think if it goes up, it's wonderful, and if it goes down, it's bad. We think just the opposite. When it goes down, we love it because we'll buy more, and if it goes up, it kills us to buy more. I tell people, if they're going in the investment business, if you got 160 IQ, sell 30 points to somebody else because you won't need it. I mean, I figured out very early, you don't have to be that smart at this business, which is fortunate, but you do have to have the right temperament.
And what that means is you have to be patient in this stock market. You have to be patient when it comes to money. If you don't have patience, you cannot be in the stock market. Because any little bad news, any little headline, any little TikTok, any type of social media tweet or anything can bring down the stock market. You got to be able to overcome that. It doesn't matter. You've seen the charts. The charts continue to go up and up and up and up. And every time there's dips, you need to be buying those dips right there. You have to have patience. Somebody's going to make silly mistakes in the stock market. When there's blood on the streets, you got to eat. When there's blood on the streets, you got to buy stocks. When they're scared, you got to buy. And these are lessons I learned over time. I remember when stock market was going, a couple years ago, I just started, right? Stock was going down. I would buy something that would go down, and I would immediately panic and sell it for a loss, wasting money. I did this plenty of times. I bought stocks and they were going up, and then next thing you know, I'm like, oh man, it's going down. Let me get out of it, and got scared, or I heard a news line or a headline on the news and I sold my stock. It was the worst mistake ever. You got to take the emotion out of it, right? You cannot have emotions when it comes to this. Who cares what the president say? Who cares what the weather's like? Who cares what the news say? Who cares what women say or what men say or what TikTok say or what YouTube say? It does not matter. It's all about when you go to a store, when you see somebody spend money, they're spending money for a company. If you own that company and that company revenue goes up, that means that stock price may go up, right? The American business, the American consumer, that's what we do. We spend. American businesses make money. American businesses are in the stock market. The S&P 500 is 500 of American businesses that we drive by every single day, that we spend money for every single day. So when you invest in the stock market, you got to ignore all that crap. Ignore everything. Just continuously put money in it and be disciplined, be consistent, and ignore everything. And it's all about time. It's not about time in the market. It's all about time in the market, right? So if you are 50, if you leave your stocks in there till you're about 75 for 25 years, you're going to have a lot more money than you did if you sold at 60. And the same thing for your 18-year-olds. You put a little bit of money every day, every week, like $25 to $50 a week for 45 years, for 50 years. So by the time you're 65, you will be a millionaire. So don't worry about the nonsense. Don't let your emotions get involved. Who cares if the stock goes down? Who cares what the presidents say when it comes to the stock market? Because presidents come and go. Businesses keep going. People continuously spend money. You have to be patient. That's what it's about. Patience. Again, Warren Buffett says the stock market is about transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. I am much more patient now based on my experience. I haven't been in the market for a long time. I just started a couple years ago. But now that I made all those stupid mistakes, being scared out the stock market, from being scared to now being prepared, now I understand. Just continuously spend money. And when you see people make stupid mistakes, when they start selling, if we have a recession, or if we're not already in a recession, but if we have a recession and those stocks go down, you need to be pounding the market. You need to be selling everything you got to buy those stocks. Not selling stocks, but selling like material things that you don't need so you can buy equities and buy securities in the stock market. It's all about being patient, and it's all about time. And those are things I have learned over time. So don't let that scary stuff get you to sell your stocks. Who cares if crypto, I don't know nothing about crypto, but if you are in crypto and it goes down, if you believe in that, then you just buy more. If a stock goes down and you really believe in that company and you know it's going to go up, that you did your research on, then you should buy more. So if you bought like Apple at 189, right? And it goes down to 175, don't be scared. You bought it at 189. Now you can get it cheaper. Buy it at 175. And if it goes down to 160, then you buy it at 160. You already bought it at 189. So what's the difference? What you scared of now for? You bought it at its highest. Now buy it when it's low. You got it on sale. That's how I look at it. When stocks go on sale, I'm jumping on them. So you have to be patient. You have to have time in the market. Warren Buffett didn't make all his money till he was after 60 years old. Now, of course, he was rich before 60. But we're talking about he made billions after 60. You know why? Because time was on his hand, was on his side, I meant. He was in the market for 40 years. He's what, 99 years old, something like that now? And he's worth so much money? That's what it's about. It's about time in the market. So it's never too late, but you got to keep investing. You got to be patient. You have to have discipline. So don't listen to the nonsense what they're talking about out there is what I'm trying to say. Don't be scared. Be prepared, right? And time in the market. Be patient. When you buy those stocks, yeah, they might not go up this month. They might not go up next month. They might not go up for 6 months. But 10 years from now, they're going to be a lot higher. If you did your homework and you did your research and you buy quality, top-notch stocks, and you sit on them for a long time, they're going to go up. Now, if you need your money right now, then you shouldn't be in the stock market. If you cannot afford to let your stocks go down for a little bit, you should not be in the stock market. If you need that money right now, you shouldn't be in the stock market. But if you are in the market and you don't need that money, just let it sit. Set it and forget it. If you got 100 shares of Apple and it's down for the year, you know what? In 10 years, Apple is going to be a lot more than now it is today. Same thing with Nike. So be patient, be disciplined, right? Be strategic, do your research and buy quality stocks. Time in the market beats time in the market, right? And be patient and be consistent. Keep it Econ 100. You already know.